Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be teaching you how to play Chopin's Nocturne Opus 15 number 1. The first thing that you should know is the F major scale, and it's like this. From that scale we could define two groups, from F to B flat and from C to F. And Chopin is going to use this second group to come up with this melody. And that's the first phrase. Now we could also count. The C is an upbeat, and we could start counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now he's going to start harmonizing this melody with the left hand. So the left hand is going to be all chords. So when you play it here and you go to F, that's going to require the first chord from the scale, which is F major. And F major is like this. That's an F major chord. Now he's not going to only do that, but he's going to open up. So he first is going to do the F major, and then he's going to go to an F major 7 like this. F major 7. And we have the first measure. Now, what he does is triplets on the left hand to accompany that beautiful melody. So he's going to play F, A, F like this, and then he's going to move A and play two C's. So we have this now. Okay? Now, on the second triplet, he's going to do this. A and F again, and that's it. For the next one, remember that I said we go to an F7. We're going to maintain this F, and we're going to play A and E, and the two C's afterwards. So we have F, A, F, A, F, and the C in the middle, and then we move one lower, A and E. If we do it without stopping, it will be this. Okay, and then what we do is try to match it with the right hand. So we have the C, now the F is going to match this together, and then we move the triplet here, and the E is going to go with this. That's it. If we play a little bit faster, we have this. Okay? Sometimes it's important you could work on bringing out the top note or the one below. Or play it just naturally with a down movement here on the first note and then up. Okay? We have covered the first measure. Second measure, we're going to have the rest of the notes. So we started like this. So now we have D, E, and C. The D, we're going to take this chord, a B flat major 7, and he brought it all the way down here, and he has these notes. So when we play the D, instead of playing this, what he'll do is play F, A, D like this, and then two notes of those. Okay? And then what we'll do is when we go to E, we're going to find the fifth chord from the scale. That is a C7, and we're going to flip it and flip it here, and he'll play this instead. The E with the G, B flat E on the left hand. And what he'll do is kind of the same thing. He punch this and do two of those. Now we stay on C7, notice that we're going to C, and all he does is move the C below here, and that's his two notes. Okay, let's go with the two measures now. So we start on C, we have this, we go here, there, and and we have covered 2 measures. The F has to stay for the whole measure. So each time I play this, I hold that F. Now I play it again and I hold it. Okay? Now let's continue now. He's going to have another melody and he's going to do this. You can see here the scale, like a D minor right there, right? So we have the long note, dotted note. We increase the volume and we get to the long note here, A. Now for this, he's also going to use different chords, and let's start by going to the second chord. Notice that we go to the second note from F, so that would be a G minor 7. And if we do the inversions, he brought it here. Now, he could have done the D here at the same time, but what he did is punch the F and G and the D here, and then uses the triplet there. Okay? Now he plays the E, and he's gonna go back to the C7, or kind of like a diminished sounded here. He has this, but he'll move it. So we have the D then with the G minor 7. Now we have the run on E, going to G and E. Now G and C, and we get to F major. Okay? I think it's important that I play just left hand. So we have this together. Next one, I keep holding out. And back to F. Okay? So we have a G minor 7. We have here like an E diminished. Back to C7 and F. So maybe what I'll do is play the entire left hand slowly from before, and here we have 3 measures now. So we have this. Remember to go up and down on the first one of the triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now let's try to play it together now very slowly. Here we match. We match here. First one from the triplet. Here. And we get to F. F, always play F and C, and then the 2 notes in the middle. Now from here we're going to go to an A7. A7 is like this. But what he'll do is bring those notes below and use the G, C sharp like this. He flipped it. He used this instead. And we have just left hand by itself, so we punch it like this only. Then we go to D minor, remember? That's the 6th chord from the scale. So we have the A7 to D minor. And that is all 4 measures from the piece. And this is a solo left hand, so that means once we get to A, we have the A7 and D minor. Maybe you could emphasize the C there a little bit. Resolve into D minor. Okay? Now let's play it up to that point. Okay, now we have another line here, starting on G. It's a longer line, but you could split it by measure, so let's do that. I play like that so it makes more sense what we're doing. So we start in a quarter note, long note, also a long note here, but then we write a little bit. We have the triplet there. Okay, now because we start on a G, we're gonna use a G7. That's the chord, but he flipped it, so all the way down here. and the pattern will be the same. We're gonna have this. So we play that chord split rather than at the same time. So we play this and 2. Okay. Now if we keep the F there, we could go all the way down here, keep the same notes, and add this instead. And notice that the only notes we lowered was the B and the D. That's what we call a G minor 7 flat 5, and that goes very nicely with the C7, which is coming next. Okay, so when we move it, you have this chord, up, here, down, up again, and that's it. Okay, let's put it together with the right hand. So we have the G, now we're going to A, now this one in between, and then we're gonna go descending. Okay, a little bit faster now. Notice here a different harmony now. We have F, A, C, E, which is the F major 7, but it's all the way brought up all the way down. So we play C, E, A with F. Now here we move on now. If we open up these 2 fingers here, we have another chord, B, D, F, A, which is a B minor 7 flat 5. So you punch all 3 notes together and then do the F. Then we move just this, and that's it. So now here we have 3 notes against 1. So we're gonna play here, we're gonna play F, this one in between, and then all together 3 notes. And that's it. So what I'm gonna do is play first together and then each hand separate so you can see it. Whole melody now. In between. And that's it. Left hand by itself. Remember also to go up before playing the chord down, up, down here. Okay? Melody, just to remind you what it was like. Triple. Okay, and you could play with different sounds. When it goes up, make sure you increase a little bit the sound, and when it goes lower, decrease the sound. So, you mark piano though, so. Get here to E. Now change of chords here. When we use the E, we're gonna use an E major, but we're gonna turn it into a 7th. He used the 7th, so he used this chord instead. So we could flip it all the way down here. And he does the same pattern, so he does this and then the inside. Plays the chord E and E. So we got this. Okay, then he's gonna open to an easier chord, A minor, like this. You see the A minor here, A, C, E. It's gonna create an arpeggio. And this chord, we already played it. It's a B minor 7 flat 5 from here, so he's open now. And we cover that measure. Let me play it for you. E7 to A minor to B minor 7 flat 5. Then we're going to change. Now all we have for this is the E, the A minor. Now here we're going to run at the same time E, D, A, and B. We'll match it again. So. He put poco crescendo and you could retain a little bit the tempo. Now once we get to B, now yes, we use a complete E major chord, but instead he open up. He does the 10th here and the B in the middle. So B, 2 B's here, E major now, inversion. Here now, C7, together. And then we go back to the same theme. So the melody on the right hand I think is pretty much straightforward. The difficulty is managing to play in the left hand all these chord changes that we have. So you could practice the left hand by itself from the beginning like this. Very slow. It gives the mood to the piece. And now you know each chord for where they come from. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, pedal. Every 3 notes. Pedal, pedal, and back. So now I'm gonna play it all together very slowly for you to see if you could manage to put it together. He puts simple and tranquillo so. 1, 2, 3. We get to the top. C sharp maybe we emphasize. A little bit. Triplet. And then it repeats. I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Also, thank you very much and all my supporters from Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee.